morning, everyone. Yan. So bago po tayo magsimula, we would greatly appreciate if you can share this link with your friends, your family members, and you can also type your comments, your insights, and your suggestion later on into our comment section. Okay. Thank you very much, and see you in a while. And good morning, everyone. So before we formally start our program, let us have our nationalistic song, followed by a prayer through an audio-visual presentation.
Ang bayan ko'y tanging ikaw, Pilipinas kong mahal, ang puso ko at buhay man. Tungkulin ko'y gagampanan na lagi kang paglingkuran. Ang laya mo'y papantayan, Pilipinas kong hirang. Pilipinas kong hirang.
We praise you, our dear alma mater. Praise to you, our high school home. To you we give our thanks today, and the love we share each day. We praise you to our teachers best, and the memories we have shared. Las Piñas North National High, our very dearest alma mater. To you we give our loyalty and the knowledge we have learned. We're proud to be a part of you, Las Piñas North National High. We praise you, our dear alma mater. Praise to you, our high school home. To you we give our thanks today, and the love we share each day. We praise you to our teachers best, and the memories we have shared. Las Piñas North National Piñas National, our very dearest alma mater. To you we give our loyalty and the knowledge we have learned. We're proud to be a part of you, Las Piñas North National High. Las Piñas North National High. Our very dearest alma mater. To you we give our loyalty and the knowledge we have learned. We're proud to be a part of you, Las Piñas North National High. We're proud to be a part of Las Piñas North National
Yeah, once again, a pleasant morning to everyone. So, allow me first to greet our school principal, Carlos Alexander Estrigon, to our Brigada School Coordinator, Sir Patrick M. Melendez, to all the department heads and coordinators, to all the teachers, to our very supportive stakeholders, and to our beloved students. Welcome to Las Piñas North National High School Project Hamon, a health and mental awareness orientation for Northians. This project aims to mentally prepare the students, parents, guardians, and teachers for the return of on-site schooling. To grant us a warm welcome, I am pleased to have Mr. Michael Ertoza, Head Teacher 3 of ASP Department, to deliver the opening remarks.
Our Lord in heaven,
Good morning to each and everyone. My task for this activity is to deliver the welcome remarks for this Project Common Health and Mental Awareness Orientation for Northians. Certainly, before anything, let me acknowledge the presence of our admirable leader of the Spinas North National High School, Principal 3, Carlos Alexander Estrigon. Good morning, sir. To the persistent and committed department heads, to my fellow educators, parents, students, and to the distinguished guests and contributors of this program. Welcome. The goal of this webinar, according to our TWG, is to mentally prepare teachers, parents, and students for the return of on-site learning. Considering that this will play a crucial role in how we as educators approach students' growth and learning moving forward, it is imperative to address mental health issues. Additionally, as administrators, teachers, and stakeholders, it is our duty to support one another in learning effective methods and interventions and stepping up to the plate to get ready for the new educational framework that will be in place for the 2022-2023 academic year. Let's not set limits on how much we can do to assist, encourage, safeguard, and take care of everyone's mental health. We must take advantage of this opportunity to build back better the demands for investment in mental health by working together as one family and as students, parents, and teachers of Las Piñas North National High School. So, ladies and gentlemen, please accept my sincere welcome and please listen and get settled as our guest speaker discusses mental readiness for students, parents, and teachers for the start of school year 2022-2023. I am confident that we will have a constructive and in-depth discussion. So once again, thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Sir Mike, for that gracious message. Now, after 2 years of studying from home, I know and I believe that everyone is very excited with the on site or with the face to face classes. But the big challenge is how ready are we? How ready are the teachers? how ready are the parents and the guardians, and especially how ready are the students emotionally and psychologically. So to know more and to learn more about this on how we going to cope up with these challenges, it is indeed a great honor to introduce our resource speaker for today. He is a BA Psychology graduate from Colegio de San Juan de Letran, a completed academic requirements, MA in Education, major in Guidance and Counseling from the La Salle University Das Marinas, a registered guidance counselor, serves as a psychometrician at Elizabeth Seton School Das Piñas, and as guidance counselor for high school students at St. Benedict College and college students of the LaSalle University Das Marinas and the LaSalle Medical and Health Science Institute. At present, he is with the Human Resource Management Department of the LaSalle Medical and Health Science Institute, serving as an employee counselor from school year 2019 to 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a virtual round of applause to Mr. Rio B. Ordiliano.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Ellie, for that wonderful introduction. And welcome, students, parents, and teachers. Thanks for having me here. And I hope that all of you would be, or we will have a, some kind of a joyful and meaningful 1 hour stay with me here. So I'm Rio from the De La Salle Medical Health Sciences Institute, and as Ma'am Eddie told you a while ago, I'm a registered guidance counselor by profession and currently holding the position of employee counselor. So I was tasked to discuss with you the topic regarding mental resiliency, okay, or how to become mentally tough. So in this day and age, we're still in the pandemic, no? So we need to toughen up our emotions, our mind, and just to keep on holding on to our dear life as we battle, this epidemic that's been bothering us for the past 2 years. So, but now with the onset of, or rather with the advent of these vaccines, slowly but surely, we are trying to eliminate already this virus, but not to the fullest, because there are still some of us who are, I believe, are being contracted by the virus. Okay, so without much ado, no, let me just. I'd like to start my discussion with you by walking you through what happened, what transpired for the past 2 years. No? So I think naalala nyo pa no how is it like no being in a school before. Okay. So tignan nga natin, balikan natin yung nakaraan. No? Masarap isip-isipin kasi yung nakaraan natin eh. How are we before? Okay. So let me share my slide. Okay, so ito na pala. Okay. So whenever we speak of school, no, pasok ka na sa school, ganito. Ito yung image na nakikita natin, di ba? Daming estudyante, siksikan, sa classroom, pinagsisiksikan yung 90 students, and masaya kasi magkakatabi lahat. Walang fear, basta masaya lang. And besides, mas masaya pa nga pagka walang teacher minsan. No, joke lang. Pero, as students, and basically as human beings, no, we are social animals. We love to be in company with people. No? At yun tayo eh. That's our naturalesa. So, we come to school sometimes, although partially prepared for our lesson, pero deep inside we are more excited, to see and uh, to have a to spend time with our friends, di ba? So kaya mula umaga hanggang hapon, recess hanggang uwian, magkakasama, nagkukulitan, etc. Pero syempre, discipline has to be instilled, no, inside the classroom. So kahit pa paano, tulad ng mga bata dito sa picture, they're behave. Okay. and even when they're falling in line. So that's the school that we used to know. That's the atmosphere that we used to know. Ramdam niyo pa ba? Okay. I want you to feel that thing, you know, that 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 experience that you had before. How is it like being in school? Then COVID-19 came and all of a sudden, ito tayo. Di ba? Deserted, classroom na walang tao, campus na walang tao, hallways na walang tao, walang nagkukulitan, walang tutulakan, walang pila ng mga estudyante. So sad. All of a sudden, if I remember it right, it was March 17 of 2020 when it was declared na ECQ and lockdown. And some students then were already graduating by that time, and yung inaasam-asam nila na mamarcha, gagraduate, you know, uh, in front of their parents, no, loved ones, wala, naglaho lahat. Meron siguro natuloy virtually, pero iba pa rin yung saya nung nakatoga ka, mamarcha ka, gaya ka pa kayo ng mga classmates nyo, saying goodbyes, di ba? And parents naman are proud that after graduation, kain kayo sa labas. All of this na-miss natin. So, but then again, the DepEd, under the leadership of then Secretary Briones, did not take this sitting down. Diba? The DepEd devised, schemed a plan, to how to continue, education kahit na or despite the pandemic, despite not being physically present in school. So kaya nagkaroon ng mga online learning. And dito na uso yung mga Zoom, dito na uso yung Google Meet, dito na uso yung lahat-lahat ng mga social platform at pagalingan ng mga teachers so pag discuss or pag-present ng lesson, they become very creative. Kaya nilagay ito teachers innovation. May iba gumamit pa ng mga ring light. And you just have to realize how could our teachers thought of this in very creatively, no? Kung paano na deliver yung lesson virtually. At hindi nalalayo yun from what I feel right now, no? I used to conduct lectures, I used to conduct talks of face-to-face, no, on-site. Mas gusto ko yung nakikita ko yung reactions ng mga tao. Mas gusto ko nakikita kung sino yung kausap ko. I do not know right kung meron ba kausap or what. But can I just have since I cannot see everyone, no, I just like to have a feel of who are listening right now. Okay lang ba if magkonting interaction tayo? If you're a student, kindly press 1 nga sa inyong mga keypads. And I hope mag-a-appear dito sa comment section natin. Okay? If you're a student, press 1. Kung teacher or staff, press 2. Pagka naman parent or guardian, press 3. Okay? Meron ba? So si Sir Tak mamaya, no, mag-aano niya. Medyo hindi ko nakikita dito. But so sana mag-participate kayo. Press 1 if you're a student. Press 2 kung teacher or staff. Press 3 if you're a parent or guardian. Okay. So, yeah. Mamaya mag-a-appear yan. So, anyways, ito yung mga teachers natin. They did their best to present lesson in such a way na talagang effective and efficient despite the media. Uy, si Christine. Thank you. Wow, Ma'am Penny. Hello. Okay. And yung mga students naman, no? Naging high-tech bigla. All of a sudden, Oh, you learn how to use your laptops, your computers, your cell phones. Iba nga dalawa-dalawa pa eh, no? Tulad nitong nandito sa screen, ano? Pwede magnify using a big TV screen. Iba nga dalawa pa, oh. Diba? Para mas maraming makikita papers. So, nagmo-multitask siya. And the Zoom, wherein sometimes naka-open yung mga cameras, sometimes naman they opted not to. Bakit? Para daw hindi masayang yung bandwidth. Okay. So, naging high-tech bigla no, ang mundo. Okay. Using computers and developing uh, platforms, no? Different platforms for interactive education. Pero hindi naman lahat medyo siniswerte sa buhay. Let's look at the other side of life. Ito, may mga bata na nagtsatsaga. Isa nga nasa bubong lang para makakuha ng ano. Kahit pa paano may cellphone siya. Sa mo tinatawagan siguro teacher habang nagbabasa ng libro. Okay. Then iba naman nagmo-modular kasi talagang walang means, no? Walang internet connection, walang cellphone, walang laptop. But then again, education continues. And may iba, no, for the past 2 years, nagkaroon ng magandang bonding between parent and their kids. No? Kasi all of a sudden, bigla naging teacher si nanay. No? Bigla naging teacher si tatay. At yung dati na pinababayaan lang yung anak na gumawa ng assignment, ngayon, tutok na. And di ba napakagandang samantahin yung panahon na yun na dati wala kang time, sana all of a sudden ngayon. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is that when pandemic hits us, hindi siya talaga uh, masama. No? As in talaga, although 90% siguro masama, but then again, something good came out of it. No? Naging innovative ang mga teachers, times spent with family, especially yung parents and their kids became more intimate, diba? Because of tutorial and dito yung ginagawa nilang modular learning. And that's why come this year, no, nung simula na upo ang ating Vice President, Sara Duterte, who also happens to be our DepEd Secretary, no, mandated. No, and talagang with full conviction, sinabi niya na kailangan na nating tapusin to. Kailangan natin bumalik face to face. Diba? So, nandiyan yung source natin. No? It was written by Stephanie Sevillano last July 14. Okay. So, bakit? Kasi nagkaroon ng learning loss according to her. And there was a study, sabi niya gano'n, na present niya kay President Marcos. Nagsasabi na when they're online classes or distance learning, masyadong maraming learning loss according sa study na yun. And worse, much worse, sa mga may hirap. Doon sa mga hindi maka-afford ng computers, ng laptops, ng internet connection. Doon sa mga nagtsatsaga sa modular or kung walang modular, yung mga pupunta yung parents sa school para pick upin yung mga libro. Okay. And syempre, yung mga ibang parents na yun, hindi naman sila talaga nag-aral din. So, nahihirapan din sila magturo sa mga anak nila. And also, nahihirapan din sila because they have to also earn a living. Diba? So, hindi rin lahat na biyayaan ng uh, time, no, well spent with their family. Kasi kailangan talaga nilang magtrabaho din. Lalo na kung wala naman silang katulong. Okay. It was also during those times, no, actually maaga pa, no, 2021 pa lang, nagpe-prepare ng ating magigiti ng mga senador sa pamumuno ni Senator Sani Angara. Okay. Sila nang namuno kasi sa budget ng Committee on Finance. And kahit na according sa report na to, no, kahit na wala pa daw na sinasubmit na budget ang DepEd noon for face-to-face kasi hindi pa naman prepared nila and they're not really looking to nag-foresight na sila na hindi, we have to put a budget on this for 2022 kasi baka all of a sudden biglang pwede na, diba? So ang galing. Akala ko yung mga iba senador natin walang ginagawa, but when I read this article, no, they're really doing their job. So hindi totoo na wala silang ginawa at nangungura ako. No, don't believe that. Some of them, I believe, or most of them, have that heart for public service. May vision na sila at pinangungunahan na nila. Just like Senator Cayetano, Gatchalian, and Joel Villanueva. No? So, pinag-isipan na talagang pinush na nila sa Senado yung budget, DepEd budget for face-to-face. Kahit wala pang sinasubmit ang office ng DepEd noon during that time. So, and syempre ang ating presidente naman, no, much concerned sa ating economy and he believes na pag nagbalik eskwela na, tataas ang ekonomiya. For some reason, probably yes. No? Because dadami na uli yung gagamit ng mga transportation, syempre nandiyan ang kalakalan, no, nandiyan ang marami bibili na uli. So magiging open na uli ang market natin, no, for transaction, for business transaction. Not only sa transpo area, but more so sa food and other things, no, like school supplies, office supplies. So lahat gagalaw ulit. And that's the reason why, they're really pushing hard, you know, for a face-to-face classes to be held as soon as possible. Kaya lang syempre on one end or on the other hand, nandun pa rin agam-agam natin that pandemic is not yet ended, no? The coronavirus is very much around. Although nagbago na siya, nag-mutate na siya dati from original one, naging Delta, which is yung pinakamatapang sabi nila. Then eventually naging Omicron. Ngayon may Omicron subvariant na. Which sabi ng mga doctors naman natin and epidemiologists are super spreaders pero hindi sila ganon ka-fatal unlike yung before. Well, probably dahil most of us are already vaccinated, no? So I'm not sure kung na-reach na natin yung herd immunity na tinatawag, no? I'm just not sure if we already reached that point na 70 or 80% na ng population natin ang vaccinated. But based on records, and I can speak for myself, no? Kasi sa school, sa office namin or sa company namin, ako yung nagmo-monitor ng mga employees, no, who are applying for quarantine leave. We give quarantine leave to employees kasi who acquired COVID, lalo pag nag-positive sila through RT-PCR test or rapid antigen test. And pag nalaman namin na o na-investigate namin na that is a work-related cause, then the employee uh, will have up to a maximum of 14 days na quarantine leave. Pero syempre, di naman nauubos lahat yung minsan after 1 week o 7 days, 5 days, gumagaling na kagad. That is yung ngayon. No? Pero before, lumalampas pa ng 14 days, iba nagka 21 days pa. Okay. No, bakit? Kasi wala pang vaccine ng mga unang time. Pero nung dumating mga vaccines natin, especially na fully vax na sila, at nagka-booster pa, magkaroon man ng COVID, very slight na lang. Parang sinipon ka lang. Parang inubo ka lang ng konti. So very normal na, hindi na siya nakakatakot, hindi na siya fatal unlike before. Pero syempre, we still have to be careful. So, kaya minamandate according to this news, no? Though hindi mandated ng government natin ang magpa-vaccine ang bawat tao because they respect their individual rights to for to choose, okay, for their health. Pero they are strongly encouraging naman because they believe and the government believe na based on studies na rin, it really shows that these vaccines really help. So, kung magiging vaccinated lang talaga lahat and everybody will will grab this opportunity to be vaccinated, then if we reach that point na may herd immunity na tayo, then this coronavirus thing would just be an ordinary, parang flu na lang siya o kaya sipon na madaling gamutin. Okay. Baka makuha na sa biogesic lang. Okay. So, nag-research pa ako ng konti, no? Kasi hindi mo satisfied do sa paano na nakuha yung learning loss na yan. Ano bang basis nila for that? And I chanced upon this report no nung January 26, no, 2022 na which says that learning loss must be recovered to avoid long-term damage to children's well-being, productivity. Okay. Now this is from London, New York, and Washington D.C. na, no? And it says here that uh, school closures have caused large and persistent damage to children's learning and well-being, the cost of which will be felt for decade to come. Now, hindi lang pala dito sa atin, no? Doon pa ito mayayamang mga bansa doon. But then again, they felt no uh, this condition, no? Na discover na nila to that learning losses due to school closures are one of the biggest global threats to medium and long-term recovery from COVID-19. Now, bakit kasi according to this report, nung nagstay sa bahay ang mga estudyante, the more na napigilan sila no, na maging creative or maging masustain yung kanilang uh, motivation to study. Well, yung iba siguro na-excite kasi okay lang sa kanila to learn on their own. But majority of the students, especially sa mga bata, they're collaborative, di ba? Mas natututo sila when they are with friends, when they study together, when they discuss things together, and when they exchange notes, di ba? When they, kokopya ng assignment, so to speak. Pero, be it as may, sa atin mga teachers, parang, uy, foul yun, nagkokopya kayo ng assignment. Pero, hindi, natututo sila dun eh. Di ba? Believe it or not, learning takes place when you exchange notes, when you know, uh, exchange yung mga answers nyo sa test paper. Hindi during exam, ah. Don't get me wrong. After the exam. So, anong answer mo sa ganyan? Oh, ay, kaya pala mali ako kasi ito pala yung answer dyan. Oh, sige, so alam na niya next time. So, they learn from these experiences. And I believe sa mga teachers, you were also once students and you also learn from these experiences, di ba? So, when when they were halted now from coming to school, nawala yon, nawala opportunity na yon, nawala yung experience na yun to deal with fellow students, to engage in discussions, and also to collaborate no with them lalo sa mga group works. Okay. So kaya ito yung nangyari, no? Yung the disruption is one of the biggest threats to medium and long-term recovery of COVID-19 unless government acts swiftly. And ito pa mabigat dyan, ang greatly affected ay yung mga low to middle class na income earning families. Especially yung mga nasa, sabi nga ng ibang politiko, nasa laylayan ng lipunan. Diba? Kasi sila yung hindi maka-avail ng internet, sila hindi maka-avail ng laptop, hindi maka-avail ng mga gadgets na ganito. So, doon sila sa old school. pen, paper, books, and collaborating with classmates. They learn from that. At ito'y nawala sa kanila. At yun lang ang meron sila. So, that's the reason why I think our government is doing their best to expedite itong uh, face-to-face learning because it's about time. 2 years is long enough. No? Huwag naman sana gawin 3 years. Because in doing so, baka yung pumasok ng first year high school, nagkataon siguro na nag-pandemic noon, baka buong high school life niya din na niya ma-enjoy. Diba? Kung aabot pa ng 4 years na hindi mag face-to-face. High school life ang pinakamasarap sa lahat, di ba? Andiyan nadidevelop kung ano-anong mga talents ng mga bata. Friendships. Lalo college, di ba? Mas masaya. Kasi that's the time that papasok ka, student ka pa lang, wala ka masyadong alam. Then you learn not only inside the classroom but more so sa on-the-job training and paglabas mo, professional ka na. Diba? Lalo na kapag nakapag-take ng board exams. So mga hindi nagtitake ng board exams, with degree holder ka na, you can now apply for a job. So these are the things na mamimiss ng mga bata. And, you know, sayang yung ganun development. Okay? So, habang ng gobyerno sa atin, from this empty classroom to this. Diba? Na hindi man 100% na lahat ay nasa loob ng classroom. But still, students are coming in. Students are learning on site, in person. They get to meet their teachers. Just imagine yung mga mga kinder, yung mga preschool na excited yung bata na papasok sa school kasi may baon na siya, mag-uniform na. I remember a story, no, isang office mate ko, very bibo yung bata, yung anak niya, 4 years old during that time, papasok ng kinder the next year. Tapos biglang nag-pandemic. Lungkot siya, but then again, wala. First, unang-una niyang experience sana sa school. She's excited. Tapos biglang hindi pala pwede pumasok. So, she just found herself na nasa harap ng computer, talking to the teacher, gumagawa ng assignment, nagre-recite. Pero naka-uniform siya. May baon. So, kaya lang sa bahay. But, yung na-hamper yung excitement ng bata, no, to come to school, to meet new friends, to meet, to meet a teacher. No? Put yourself do sa experience ng batang yun. No? Imagine that you're that 4-year-old excited, no, to come to school. No? Tapos biglang hindi pala pwede. Diba? And kaya siguro it's about time. Sabi ng ating Now, I was also thinking what motivated, our leaders to be bold and brave enough about this. Despite the pandemic, hindi pa naman tapos pero kahit papaano nalalabanan na pero kailangang sumugal. So maybe, just maybe, I just upon this quotation, no, from Sun Tzu. I don't know if you've heard of this book, The Art of War, no, by Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu is a military strategist, no, na nabuhay siya mga 5th century before Christ, sa ancient China. So military strategy, and yung book niya, The Art of War, it's composed of 13 chapters, na puro mga philosophies niya. How to win the war. It's very, very much powerful. And in one of those quotations na is this, no? That in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. And if you think about it, we are in the middle of a chaos. Diba? Ang gulo ng natin. Not because of war, but because of COVID. All of a sudden, yung usual stuff na ginagawa natin comes to a halt. Then, yung usual na ginagawa natin, hindi natin magawa. The usual thing that, we do as people, being with other people, talking to them, exchanging, you know, exchanging business with them, nawala lahat yun. Instead na mag-come closer together tayo, we distance ourselves physically. So, mahirap gawin. But, in the midst of that chaos, there's opportunity. Okay? And this opportunity ang um, sinusulong ng ating mga leaders. And for me, if we take the challenge, ang opportunity na yon is opportunity to be mentally resilient. Okay? And this is where yung topic natin mag-evolve na. Okay? Haba ng intro ko. No? Okay. So, let me describe to you briefly what do you mean by mental resiliency. No? So, in this article by Mr. Octavio Peralta, no? um, he says that mental resilience is the ability of an individual to adapt to hardships, stress, emotional difficulties, and mental adversities. Now, all these things na mga nasabi niya to, we experience during this pandemic. Okay? Hardships, may iba nawalan ng trabaho, stress, di malaman anong gagawin, baka magkasakit pagka lumabas or what, so that's stressful, and emotional difficulties, mental adversities. So, basta may experience ang tao na something new and threat sa buhay niya, threat sa kabuhayan, threat sa kanyang loved one, all these threats, no, are stressful sa atin, both mentally and emotionally. So, being mentally resilient, labanan to, means having a strong mental resilience can help us protect an individual from various mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety, and can handle day-to-day work stressors and pressures. Okay. So, these stresses, these difficulties leads us, no? Kung mahina-hina tayo, would lead us to anxiety, and worst comes to worst, maging depressed tayo, which ayaw natin mangyari. Okay. Anxiety, okay pa yan, still tolerable, pero too much of it would lead to depression na. So, kailangan maagapan yan. That's why kami mga counselors and other mental health practitioners are looking into this. No? Sino ba dito nakaka-experience ng anxiety na and kailangan maagapan natin yun. Okay. Now, what's the benefit of having a mental resilient mindset? Okay. So, actually, yung report niya is for employees lang. Pero I think it's also applicable, yung concept na to is also applicable to students. Kasi sabi niya dito, for employees, no, uh, it's a venue to be preventive. Okay? So meaning that's sa mga employees, they're being able to adapt to life-changing events, yung mga biglang binago yung buhay mo na dating hindi mo pinagdadaanan mo ngayon. Okay, so maka-adapt ka doon. To cope with turbulent times, just like what we have right now, work pressures, and then bounce back from hardships and strategies, which is, ito yung ano natin, no? Not only coping up and handling, but kailangan maka-bounce back tayo. No? So, that's how powerful mental resiliency is. We do not become stuck in a situation, in a feeling na overwhelmed tayo, na powerless tayo. No? Kailangan mag-bounce back tayo. That we are bigger than these problems that we are going through. Okay. Also, tututo rin tayo mag-manage because if you're mentally resilient, you're able to better handle and oversee or overcome mental illness. Okay. And lastly, nagiging productive. Okay. Or sa mga students, nagiging ano naman sila, what do you call that, yung they're having good academic performance, no? So less likely to take time off due to mental health reasons. Okay. So minsan kasi sa mga employees natin, lalo sa amin na kailangan mag-take ng break, papahinga, mag-VL, ano, kasi na-stress, kasi kailangan mag-unwind, kailangan makarecover from frustrations, kailangan makarecover from fear, from anxiety, from you know uh, mixed emotions. Okay. And on the other hand, work both ways yan. Sa employer naman or sa part ng parents, sa mga employers natin, if your employees have good mental resiliency, they tend to uh, have lower cases of absences. And same thing with children. Kapag mentally resilient sila, pasok lang sila ng pasok. There will be increased productivity or in the case of the students, better academic performance. So, syempre, pagka mataas ang grades ng anak, matutuwa din si mami, di ba? Tutuwa si daddy. Pagka marami na po produce ang employees, at saka tutuwa si employer kasi dadagdag sa kita nila yon. And lower employee turnover or attrition rate. Okay. So, yung mga employees hindi na aalis hindi na magre-resign, hindi na maghahanap din ng trabaho. And at the same time, sa mga students naman, uh, may mababawasan yung magda-drop. Diba? So, pareho ng concept, pareho ng principle. It works both ways. No? Whether you're an employer or a parent, or whether you're an employee or a student, the concept of mental resiliency is still the same. Now, there was also a survey done, uh, just to continue, no, same article din to. Sinasabi nila that 13% of employees file sick leaves due to mental health concern. Malaki-laki yun. Okay. 23% of them want to quit their jobs, no, due to stress and anxiety. And 47, mas pinakamalaki to, feel overworked. Now, bakit overworked? In our case sa hospital, we're undermanned. Um, yung mga nurses namin, they work 12 hours shifting, especially nung pandemic. Kasi yung iba, lalo yung mga bata-bata pa ng konti, pinatigil ng parents nila kasi baka mahawa. And we cannot blame them na hindi na pumasok kasi may mga comorbidities sa mga kasama sa bahay. Matatanda na yung parents o kaya may mga pamangkin na maliliit or may anak na maliit pa. So, they are in a position na sila okay pero yung kasama sa bahay, hindi. So, that's why they were forced to leave. No? Kaya malaki ang nawala sa amin na manpower. And also, 46%, almost half then, financial pressures. No? Distress. Kulang ang sweldo, wala yung pagkakitaan, hindi pwede maka-extra kasi nga pandemic. So, and also 35% are unproductive naman, no? An average of 2 hours a day due to mental illness. When you say mental illness, ito yung mga nag-range from anxiety to depression to psychosis to whatnot. So, maraming dahilan. Pero yung bulk ng mga kadahilanan nito is due to stress-related events sa buhay nila. Especially yung mga naapektuhan ng COVID. Okay. And most of these groups na naapektuhan, yung mga data nakita natin kanina, are professionals, women, okay, because they balance in life and in lockdown and managing childcare, online schooling. So karamihan mga babae talaga and youth, no. Just like what I mentioned kanina, yung mga students natin who are separated from their friends. Issues of online schooling. May ibang mga bata talaga hindi adept, no, sa online classes. Nahirapan sila humarap sa computer at sumagot online or gumawa ng mga projects sa computer. Mas gusto pa nila yung nakipag-collaborate with friends. Or lalo na kung mga bagong ano yan, no, yung mga bagong platforms like mga Canva, ganyan. So, they're not really into that. So, kaya yung iba nagda-drop na lang, iba naman talagang ayaw na lang. Diba? Uwian na. Sabihan ng iba. Now, having gone through all this experience, how do we build mental resilience? Paano ba natin gagawin to? Where do we start? Okay. So it begins with a conscious effort to start with yourself. Okay. Mind, heart, and body. So it may be an easy journey, but it's worth if it means being able to sleep well at night. So kailangan nakatulog ka. Kasi pag di nakatulog, it's one sign that you're stressed, no? That you're worried, that you're having anxiety. Okay. So find the mental strength in all aspects of your life through these strategies. Okay. So kailangan may conscious effort sa sarili that I want to be mentally resilient. And if you can repeat that sa mind mo, paulit-ulit, make it a mantra. I want to be mentally resilient. Or in a more positive note, you can say, I am mentally resilient. Ulit-ulit lang, I am mentally resilient. I am mentally resilient. So, if you put that in your consciousness, then it starts there. Now, may mga techniques pa para maano yan. One is being optimist or optimism, having a positive mindset. Okay? So, sometimes mental toughness is not building new strengths. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Hindi mo kailangan maging magaling or maging Superman pa. But it's working on with the negative things in your life. It's turning them into something positive. So, kung ano yung mga experiences mo negative, okay lang. Tanggapin mo na. Then, turn to something positive. Look at the bright side of it. Parang yung mga leaders natin, no? Nakita nila may problema. It seems like a problem na going back to Facebook, pero hindi. Diba? They try to shelve off yung mga rough do sa bato na yon, and it turned out pala na may diamond sa loob. So if you can put your mind into it, ganun ka ka-optimist na kahit nasa harap mo parang charcoal lang siya, kala mo uling, pero pag chinap mo pala sa loob, may diamond ka makikita sa loob. Okay. So pangit siyang maitim sa labas, ganun naman na diamond, di ba? Diamonds are, you know, not seen from the outside, but they're inside, no? The rock. Okay. May mga bato muna, may mga dumi muna sa una. Pero para malaman mo kung may diamond ka doon, what you need to do is really dig into it. Kailangan tabasin mo, tanggalin mo yun, and it's hard work. Okay. So, another way of putting it in a positive note is yung morning affirmations, no? Like telling yourself that I believe, I trust, accept, and have confidence in myself. Okay, that's being optimistic. So putting your mind in a positive note, no? Affirming yourself that you're good, that you're created by God in His image and likeness, and He has given you all the qualities and the faculty, no, uh, to overcome all adversities. You just have to, you know, put your heart into it. Then you would be okay. Minsan kasi natatalo lang tayo ng ating mga nararamdaman. Okay. So, and we could also go deep rather, to meditation. Okay. Mas malalim na exercise sa mind ito, yung meditation, because you're tapping your spirit when you do meditation. Okay. And also being mindful. Magandang topic tong mindfulness, no, tsaka meditation, but if we're going to do this ngayong medyo matatagalan tayo, mahirap. Pero in a simpler way, pray, no, or you do yoga. Okay. So siguro lahat naman tayo marunong magdasal, di ba? Okay. So Now you'd be amazed in developing a positive mindset and can greatly impact your mental toughness. So one pa lang yon, no? Number two is not to get stuck with your self-limiting beliefs. Marami tayo nito eh. And sometimes we're trapped to tell ourselves na hindi natin kaya to, mahina ako, hindi hindi ko, that's not my cup of tea, things like that. You know, um, may mga nagsasabi nga na uh, mga motivators na that we are limitless because we're not just human beings with physically, but we have a spirit, and that spirit is limitless. Hindi mo alam kung anong kakayanan niyan, hindi mo alam kung anong hanggang saan ang kakayanan niya. Pero to our mind, dahil nakikita lang natin ito at ganito lang tayo, mahirap lang, maliit lang ako, di ako magaling sa math, etc. etc. Wala na, parang pinatay mo na sarili mo na, di ba? Because, sa perception pa lang, sa paniniwala pa lang, inassume mo na that you have these limitations. But in fact, you'll never know no, what you're capable of pa pala until you try. Okay? So these self-limiting assumptions can hold you back from achieving and reaching what you desire the most. So it's saying things like, yeah, the back of your mind like, this won't work, I've done this before, diba? I can't do it again, I'm not smart enough, things like that. Lahat ng mga negative thoughts, no, that limits you. Minsan parang katamaran lang. Alam mo yun, ayaw mo na talaga subukan. Pero in reality, if you put your heart and soul into it and nag-focus ka, you'll be surprised, no? Na, bakit? Nagawa ko pala to, kaya ko pala to. Honestly, no, I have all some aha moments din in my life. No? Nakala ko ganito lang ako. But then, akala ko dumuro sa electrical or something. Pero naturuan ako ng aking father-in-law, kaya ko rin pala. At alam ni Marge yun. Okay. So, don't let your past mistakes define you. And don't stay inside your comfort zone. So, kailangan dito, tuloy-tuloy ka lang. Lumabas ka sa comfort zone mo. Sometimes sa comfort zone natin parang, okay na ako dito. Pero hindi. There's still a whole wide world out there, no, waiting for you. And do not put limits in your abilities. Sabi nga ng teacher ko dati sa MA, that's an insult to your intelligence. Pagka sinabi yung sarili, hindi ko kaya yan, mahirap yan. Math yan, statistics yan, hindi ko nabi sa akin ng dati ng stat teacher ko na, Rio, that's an insult to your intelligence. Gulat ako. Ngayon ko, first time ko narinig yung ganung ano. Meron palang insult sa intelligence. And I don't even know na intelligent pala ako. So, that's it. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. So, next is to take control of your life. So, simply put, you're the master of yourself. You're the captain of your ship, of your own ship. Then, yeah, take charge. Take over. Yun lang gusto sabihin nito, take control. But syempre, taking control has also its limits. So, kailangan control but with caution. Control pero calculated. Baka naman sobrang take control mo, nag full speed ahead ka, nawala ka ng preno, pwede ka mabangga. So, this happens to people na masyadong daredevil naman. To the point na okay lang kung siya lang sarili niya lang masasaktan, hindi nakadamay pa ng iba. Diba? Like halimbawa sa driving, diba? So, may speed limit tayo. Want to, magmanayo ka ng okay lang. But make sure na clear yung road at walang ibang madadamay na ano. Pero in normal situation, you have to follow certain rules as well, di ba? May speed limits tayo. But in some aspects of life na you have to take control. Ang ibig lang sabihin nito, do not let circumstances dictate for you. Do not let other people, dictate what you have to do. You have your own thoughts, you have your own mind, you have your own decision to make. Then if you think that these things are essential, these things are good for you, these things are, what is the right thing to do, then go for it. And practice mastery of emotions. Ito, maraming na ano dito, natatrap dito na feel ko lang magalit, magagalit ako. Feel kong maasar, mangaasar ako. So, we are being overrun, no, by our emotions. And don't you know that we can also control our emotions kasi emotions natin nandiyan na sa deep down sa ano natin hypothalamus natin, but our consciousness to nasa frontal lobe natin is much more powerful than that. So you just have to have control of it. Alamin mo lang, maging mindful ka lang, oops, nagagalit na pala ako, oops, sumusobra na pala ako. Then pause, take a break, diba? Anxiety, stress, and feelings and actions, these things can be controlled, diba? And siguro some other time pag-usapan natin kung paano i-manage yung mga yan. So, pero ngayon focus muna tayo on our topic. So, self-esteem is also essential part, and sense of self and life's purpose. Ito yung mga dapat talaga meron tayo. Hindi natin dapat itatagal sa sarili natin that we as human beings are, you know, born here in earth for a purpose. Kung ano man yon, that we have to consult to our God, di ba? Para you just have to connect with Him, just have to, pray to Him every time, every day, para malaman what your purpose really is. Kasi otherwise, you lose your direction. Okay? And lastly, do not compare yourself with others. No? Iba-iba ng biyaya ang Diyos sa atin. So, kung anong meron ka sometimes wala sa kanya, kung anong meron naman siya, alam ko, para sa sarili mo, parang sana meron din ako. But then again, look at your blessings as well. Baka naman meron ka ng mga bagay na wala naman sa kanya. Diba? So, that's the reason why, God is so great na ginawa tayong iba-iba. Diba? So, para walang magiging mayabang sa atin. Kasi lahat tayo would complement each other. Okay? Isa magaling sa math, ako hindi. So, tulungan mo ako dyan. Tulungan kita sa ganitong bagay. Okay? So, patas tayo. So, next is to make commitment. So, commitment is yung firm decision, to do what is right. Okay? Or to focus on a goal. Okay? Establish a strategy, set of routines, habits. Pag na-master natin itong mga bagay na to, then we take charge, we take full control of our actions, we take full control of our mind, our body decisions, then that's it. Mapapansin mo na lang that you're moving forward and you are slowly but surely being sharpened mentally and being tough against all these adversities in life. And syempre, when challenges comes, kailangan tanggapin natin no matter how hard it is, no matter which factors are involved. Okay? Yung iba, ang response nila, aalis na lang, lalayo. So, sa psychology, meron tayong tawag na fight or flight idea. Okay? Once presented by a stimulus, dalawang klase lang pwede niyan. No? It's either you fight or you flight. Lalo kapag ka life-threatening. Ano ba, labanan ko ba to? O takbo na lang ako. It's a natural instinct. But then again, kung hindi naman siya talaga life-threatening, then take it as a challenge, di ba? Malay mo, dinidevelop ka ni Lord, no, to become stronger, to become a better person than you were a minute ago, or a while ago, or a day ago. Diba? So, kailangan yung objective natin that I would become better version of me than I was yesterday or than I was 2 hours ago. Okay. So, then never ever, resort to substance abuse, no? Kasi lalo lang mapapahama katawan mo niyan. And brushing off problems under the carpet also won't do any good. Okay? Yung mga pinababayaan, mamaya na lang yan. Mamaya na ha. Hindi na pwede. Oh, okay lang yan. Tabi natin yan. Uh, Magpa-pile up yan. Sooner or later, malalaman mo na, lalo pag responsibility mo yun, kikita mo lang, laki na pala. Diba? Sayang na sana na-manage ko habang mas maliit pa, mas konti pa. Okay. So, next. Now, we have to see these adversities as opportunities to become resilient and not as a threat. Just like yung sinabi ni Sun Tzu kanina, no? And I think yun yung motivation din ng ating mga leaders that amidst chaos is a chance for opportunity. Okay. So, yun lang, no? Na I think that sums it up, no? Tong article na to, that kapag ka may adversity, kung hindi naman siya ganun life-threatening talaga, subukan natin. Diba? Let's go for it. Hanap tayo paraan. And yan natin kung anong magiging kalalabasan pag ito ginawa. Kung nagkamali at hindi naman, wala namang pahamak sa pagkakamali na yun, then it's a learning experience. Ang importante lang naman sa is that walang masaktan, walang mapahamak. So yung mga ganong mistakes are acceptable because that's what you call learning experience. Diba? Pero if sa tingin mo sa pagkakamali na yon may masasaktan, di ba? A life will be at stake, no? Syempre, iwas tayo doon because hindi natin kayang isugal yung health or buhay over anything else. Number one pa rin priority natin yung buhay natin. Okay? So, have confidence in your mental strength. So, how do you develop this confidence, no? Uh, Confidence for me goes hand in hand with faith. Kasi kung by mere confidence lang, ito yung, hindi, kaya ko yan. Diba? Kahit sa palagay mo parang hindi na mo or wala kang alam doon, pero sinasabi mo sa sarili mo, kaya mo. At the onset, parang ang ganda pakinggan, parang confidence siya, kaya ko, positive siya. Pero in reality, you're just denying the fact that you don't know anything about it. At worst comes to worst, baka mapahamak ka pa or may mapahamak na iba because of that confidence. Now, don't you know that there's a very thin line between confidence and yabang? Observation ko lang, no? Na ibang tao, kala nila pagka ganito, yabang naman ito. Pero hindi, confident lang pala siya. Yung naman kala mo confident, pero it's hard to distinguish at first. But you would know that, paano malalaman, kapag yung confident tao kasi, he's very self-assured. Alam niya gagawin niya. Diba? Pag tinanong mo, masasabi niya proseso, masasabi niya, alam niya talaga, ikakwento niya step by step kung anong gagawin niya. And that's confidence. Pero yung yabang, subuko lang. Diba? Sige nga. So, gano'n. Pero walang alam. So, for me, yun yung distinction between confidence and yabang. Now, you can achieve yung mga positive self-talk by practicing meditation and morning affirmation. Yung positive self-talk, hindi siya yabang. It's more of an affirmation, more of calming yourself and imbibing yung tatawag na positive vibration so that you would attract the positive energies in life. Okay. And it's more of a spiritual thing when you do positive self-talk. Kasi papasok na dyan yung meditation and affirmation. And eventually, you could also, pag na-master mo, you could teach yourself how to manage your stress and become confident. Confidence in the real sense. Okay. And Lastly, find comfort in your loved ones. Diba? Accept the fact na, as human beings, we do not live alone. Meron tayong mga mahal sa buhay na kailangan nating kasama sa buhay. Um, Maaring parents, asawa, kaibigan, diba? Na in times of, emotional turmoil sa sarili natin, we have this friend, no? We have this person na confident din natin, okay, in a way na, kumbaga, kahit ang sabihin ko sa kanya, kahit na, ilabas ko lahat ng baho ko, alam ko tatanggapin niya ako ng buong buo, tsaka safe ako sa kanya. Hindi niya ako i-reject, hindi niya ako mamaliitin. Basta, I just have to be open to that person. And siguro at one point in time, meron din kayong ganyang mga kaibigan. Ano? So, that person yung talaga kailangan hanapin natin in times of, you know, uh, emotional turmoil. Talagang pag balisan-balisakan. Kasi sometimes may mga ganung pagkakataon na may gusto ko pagsabihan pero nahihiya ka o kaya nag-aalala ka na baka i-reject ka, na baka, you know, hindi ka pansinin, o baka naman binibigyan ka lang ng mga toxic positivity. Have you ever heard of that term? Toxic positivity. Yung tipong, pare, alam mo, ito problema ko. Ganun. Hindi, wala yan. Kaya mo yan. So, ako nga, itong ang ganitong ano ko, ano ko, ikaw pa. That's toxic positivity. And it's not healthy. Akala natin we're helping the person to be morally uplifted. Pero, ang dating sa kanya noon is that dinideny mo yung kanyang saloobin. Dinideny mo yung need niya to be helped. So, let's be very careful, no, sa mga binibitawan natin minsan salita na akala natin nakatulong tayo because we are giving uh, moral support, no, the person by encouraging him. Hindi, kaya mo yan. Hindi, matalino ka, kaya mo yan. Hindi, ganito lang yan. Madali lang yan. Huwag ka maglala. Pero hindi mo naman tinutulungan. Di ba? Lip service lang. Yung pala, kailangan niya talaga ng masasandalan. Kailangan niya ng, you know, may tutulong sa kanya talaga, or kailangan niya somebody na makikinig. Because when you say, wala yan, ganun, hindi ka nakikinig. So let's be very sensitive about that. For maybe sometimes guilty tayo doon. Ano? Sometimes nagagawa natin yung without us even knowing it. Pero if you put yourself in the shoes of the person who's asking for help, minsan hindi pa nga tulong eh. Parang may sasabihin pa lang, parang prelude pa lang. Tinetest pa lang yung waters kung ano. Di ba nagagawa niyo minsan yun? Yung tipong, papasakali muna ako, baka ano. Hindi pa yung problema mo, iba muna sasabihin mo, medyo mababaw lang. Tapos, feeling mo na-reject ka, ayoko na, hindi ko na sasabihin sa kanya yung mas malalim kong problema. Kasi kung ito pa lang nga, sinasabi ko, nire-reject na ako. Hindi na ako pinakikinggan. How much more kung sasabihin ko yung talaga nasa loob ko. So, but if you're the type of person na sensitive sa pandinig, sa nararamdaman ng ibang tao, may nabasa akong libro dati, Listening with the Third Ear, no, by Theodore Reich. Yun yung title ng book, Listening with the Third Ear. Alalo ko, dalawa lang tenga ko, pero may third ear pala. Nasaan yung third ear? Okay, if you'll ask me. Nasa gitna. Saan gitna? Gitna ng dibdib. Di ba puso yun? Di ba puso sa English? Heart. O, tanggalin mo yung H tsaka T. Ano natitira sa gitna? Ear. So, the heart is the third ear. Diba? So, yun yan. If you listen with your third ear, no? Sa mga tao kasama mo, then they would feel comfortable. They would feel at ease. They would immediately, you know, uh, have that connection with you. Kasi nakinig ka eh, diba? And when you listen, trust follows. Na pagkakatiwalaan ka agad. Yung barricade, di ba, yung facade, yung fence between him or between the person who's talking to you and you, nababasag yon. Okay? And a bridge is built. Okay? So, pagka ganun na yung sitwasyon that, all of us has this bridge linked between each and every one of us. Kahit siguro mag-ECQ pa tayo ulit, we would be safe emotionally kasi alam natin, hindi tayo nag-iisa kahit na physically separated tayo. Kahit na may social distancing, alam natin na connected pa rin tayo sa bawat isa. And that's the reason why maraming na nagkaroon ng mental uh, illness, nagkaroon ng mga mental challenges, and bumaba ang mental health ng mga tao. It's because ang alam lang nila kapag socially distance sila o pinagso-social distancing sila, wala na. Hiwalay na ako sa kaibigan. Hindi ko nakikita ang parents ko. Hindi. There's an invisible bridge between us. Okay? Na sana ma-realize ng bawat sa atin yun. And sana hindi mabali. Sana hindi uh, uh, mabasag or masira ng pandemic. And the more that we are being physically, separated, kung darating man next na pandemic, dapat the more stronger yung ating bridge that connects to one another. And with that, I think pag lahat tayo may ganung invisible bridge that links to one another, we'll be mentally resilient because we're confident, we know na may nakitid sa atin and kakayanin natin, no, yung hamon ng buhay simply because we believe that we are not alone. Diba? So, in a nutshell, ito po, no? How do we build mental resilience? Number one, have a positive mindset. Number two, don't get stuck with self-limiting beliefs. Number three, take control of your life. Number four, make commitment. And number five, accept challenges to develop mental toughness. And six, have that confidence in mental strength. And last but not least, is to find comfort in your loved ones. Diba? And if all things hindi nangyari, kaya konti pa doon at sa tingin mo, kailangan pa much more, you can always seek help, no? And support from a mental health practitioner. So look for a counselor, psychologist or psychiatrist or kahit simply social worker, no? Or even a friend na you had developed that bridge na between you. Ang gandang start na rin po yun. Pero sometimes kasi pagka friend at medyo kailangan ng clinical intervention yung problema, dito papasok na yung professional help. Okay. And speaking of which, yung pag seek natin ng professional help, I have good news for you. I don't know if you know about this, pero since 2018, na-sign na ni President Duterte yung Mental Health Law or Mental Health Act of the Philippines. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, pero let me give you a brief background about this. It's Republic Act 11036 or what we call the Mental Health Act. Meron na siyang IRR, no? Implementing rules and regulations, and also may department order na rin, no? 208 series of 2020 na ni-release ng DOH. So DOH ang nag-sponsor nito sa agency na ano, program sa may guidelines and implementation mental health workplace and policies in the workplace. Now actually the reason why nagkaroon kami ng employee counselor sa HR namin, dati wala. It's because of this Republic Act. No? We have to comply with this. Kasi nasabi sa Republic Act na to, no, in its declaration that the state affirms the basic right of all Filipinos uh, to mental health as well as fundamental rights of people to require mental health services. So, meaning to say, kailangan sa lahat ng establishment, and it's strengthened dito yan sa Section 24 and Section 25, sa bawat establishment, whether it's educational or industrial, no, workplace setting, kailangan merong access ang mga empleyado o mga estudyante sa mental health services. So, hindi man magkaroon ng sariling counselor, psychologist, psychiatrist ang institution, pero dapat meron silang programa. Okay? Na malinaw na programa na pagka nagkaroon ka ng problema, nangangailangan ng mental health service, may pwedeng puntahan or pwedeng ma-assist. Kaya nga, access hindi nga kailangan na magkaroon kayo ng sariling counselor or psychologist para mag-address dun sa mental health concern ng empleyado or estudyante nyo. Pero at least may isang tao doon na pwede magturo, uy, dito sa ganitong uh, office meron, o sa ganitong company merong psychologist dyan, o sa ganitong institute merong pwede makatulong sa iyo. In other words, linkages. So we have to strengthen our linkages. No? Sana. Okay po. So that's good news kasi you can assert your right. Especially mga teachers no, na alam ko karamihan sa inyo is talaga nagsasuffer na emotionally, mentally, not only because of you know your workload but more so pati sa bahay, pati sa love life, di ba? Kasama lahat 'yan. Madalas sabi ko nga sa orientation namin na um, sinasabi kasi ng iba, kapag ka nagtatrabaho ka, iwan mo yung problema sa bahay. Pero that's not true. You cannot really, leave your worries, your concerns, and your problems at home. Kasi, hindi naman nagbabago yung personality mo, hindi naman nag-iiba yung pagkatao mo. Diba? Pag umalis ka ng bahay, kung may problema ka sa bahay, dala mo yun. Diba? At pagdating sa work, o sige, pwede mong sabihin na I'll wear another hat. Ito muna, teacher muna ako ngayon, hindi muna ako nanay, hindi muna ako asawa. Okay. You wear the hat of a teacher. Pero deep down your subconscious mind, you're bothered, you're concerned. Kaya naapektuhan yung performance, naapektuhan yung relationship with fellow teachers, naapektuhan din yung relationship with students. Diba? It's because of dinadala natin. So it has to start with us. How can you build a bridge, no? To other people, to your students, to your fellow teachers, diba? To your head, to your co-workers, to the people at the DO, kung ikaw mismo hindi makapag-build ng bridge sa kanila because you have your own concerns. Mahirap yun. Okay. So it has to start with us. Sabi nga sa una natin, di ba? To start to being mental resilient, it has to start with us. Kailangan may conscious effort tayo for that. And ito yung good news. Di ba? You can assert your right to avail of mental health services. Okay? So, tandaan yan, you don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to na kailangang uh, maging tahimik at magmukmok sa isang sulok o bigla ka lang sasabog dyan. Gano'n. Kasi meron tayong batas and you can assert this one. You can ask your principal, your immediate, ma'am, kailangan ko ng ganitong service. Pwede nyo matulungan. Sino pwedeng lapitan. Dapat may linkages na kayo. And kaya lang, ang challenge lang sa aming mga counselors tsaka mga mental health practitioners that napaka-konti namin. As of now, sa counselors yata, baka nasa kulang-kulang 3,000 or 4,000 pa lang kami. Uh, Lalo na yung mga psychologists, no? Tsaka psychiatrists because kinakailangan mga may PhD na sila, no? Before sila mag-take ng uh, board exams for psychologists or psychiatrists. No? So, pero may paraan pa naman. Yeah, kasi if you don't know, meron tayong online self-assessment test which can help. No? At ito pwede nyo ma-access anytime kasi sa mga psychologist, eto problema mo ngayon na experience, makaka-avail ka ng services niya after 2 weeks pa kasi ang haba, ang daming pila, ang daming naka-line up sa kanya. Pero if you want to know more about this software or platform na ano, kontakin nyo lang ako and I'll be glad to discuss that with you. 10:40 na pala, no? So, nag-overtime ako. So, eto yung mga salient points. Isa-send ko na lang siguro itong mga ano, basahin nyo lang yung salient points ng mental health law. And with that, have any questions or queries?
Yan. So, marami pong salamat kay Sir Rio. So, before that, baka po may mga questions kayo or insights that you want to share. Kindly type in your comments and your questions on the comment section. Ayan. So, marami pong salamat, Sir Rio. I think, I'm sure that katulad ko, Sir, nakarelate kami sa lahat ng i-share nyo from the description of yung ano yung na-miss namin during the online or face-to-face classes before na nagka-pandemic. Yan. So, at saka yung na-touch nyo talaga yung mga how are we going to seek help, diba? Yung sa mental resiliency. Ano, kasi parang hirap, no? Parang hirap ma-achieve, sir. Pero, si Sir Rio kasi, let me share this. Si Sir Rio kasi, during his talk palagi, yung mga bagay na seems difficult to achieve, pag siya na yung nag-discuss, parang andaling ma-achieve. Achievable ba? Parang gano'n. Yes, ang relax, no? Ang relax pakinggan ni Sir, panoorin na, okay, kaya naman pala. You know, kailangan lang may proper, tayo, people. The best dun sa topic ni Sir is yung find comfort, di ba, sa loved ones. Kasi yung mga taong nagsistruggle with anxiety or psychological, confusion, normally kasi sila, andun yung fear kung kanino ba sila lalapit. So,
Mm-hmm.
maganda na na-present ni Sir Rio yung na meron na tayong mental health law. Yan, it's a good news po talaga. Yan. So, let's open the platform na for question and answer. Meron pa po ba? Ayan. So, ayan. Si Sir, ready namang sumagot sa inyong mga katanungan. Ayan.
Yes.
Siguro, Sir, overwhelmed sila kasi ang linaw, Sir, eh. Ang linaw, Sir. Actually, nung nakikinig ako, I'm trying to jot down then my question. Sabi ko, ay, tatanong ko to kay Sir. Pero, ando nasasagot niyo yung question na nasa isip ko. So, I think it's the same with them kasi from yung introduction nyo pa lang, ando na lahat eh. Yung comparison nung before, during, and after na. So, ando na lahat. All in na, parang gano'n. Ayan. So, wala po bang questions? Ayan. So, yun. So, I think overwhelmed sila. Kaya, they are all understandable lahat. So, malinaw po, sir,
Wow, thank
talaga.
you.
Yes. Thank you, sir. So, wala na po ba? Last question or any insights po from our viewers for today? Yan, sa parents.
Sa mga
Yan.
students.
Yeah, coming
Oh,
from
naku,
the
ma-excite.
students.
I'm not sure sa mga students, excited kayo o mas gusto niyo na yung online?
I think they are all excited, sir. Yung pang mga yan, gusto nila ng
Ano,
collaboration, sabi nyo nga. Yes, it's
Mhm.
very true. Ayan.
O collaboration.
Oo, no, may ano sila, may laboy right after the school. Yan. Oo, yan
Ay,
po. So, wala na po ba? So, I think, wala na sir, no? So, I
yeah.
really hope na lang, so sa ating mga viewers, I really hope that you have listened well and learned so much. And I'm sure that ang dami nyong natutunan, katulad ko. No, all this time, hindi ako umalis sa pwesto ko kasi nakinig talaga ako kay sir. I was very immersed, when you describe everything that we are missing, you thoroughly explained and discuss everything that we need to know about mental resiliency. All right,
Mm.
then, if you got no more questions, let's proceed na po sa ating awarding of the certificate for Sir Rio.
Ma'am, may ano lang ako, may
Sige po,
konting
sir. Baka po
nonsense
meron
pa
pa
lang.
kayong yes po.
May pahabol lang.
Sige lang,
Can
sir.
we go back to sa ano? Yeah. For consultations and counseling, advertise ko lang, this is my contact details. You want to get in touch with me, you can get in touch with me sa aking cellphone number. Ito kasi office na number ko to. And also sa Facebook, no, just search mo lang yung name ko. O kaya si Marge, ganun. Para makapag counseling tayo. And also, meron din akong kung kaya lang ng time niyo, it's not really mandatory, but I would really appreciate if you can scan yung QR code or yung bit link natin for evaluation. Okay, para at least malaman ko rin kung okay ba yung naging topic natin or are there some things na kailangan pa improve or baka may mga future topics kayo na gustong ma-discuss din, bigyan ng then, we can talk about that. Okay po. And okay, sabay yung last na lang, last slide, Sir Tap. Yan, yung aking favorite quotation. I don't know if you have seen the movie, no, Rocky Balboa. No? This script, no, sinasabi niya sa anak niya. Sabi niya sa anak niya, "Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, and it will beat you to your own knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you were be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that." So, very strong words, very powerful words from Rocky Balboa himself, Sylvester Stallone. And if you had a chance to watch, I watched this film several times, and I really, pag sinasabi niya itong line na to, talagang wow, it's very powerful. So I think tama-tama yun sa hamon sa atin, yung Project Hamon, that it's not about getting how hard you hit, but it's how you get hit and keep moving forward. And that's mental resilience. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you for listening. You've been such a wonderful audience, and I can hear you clapping dyan sa mga places ninyo, giving high fives, love, 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 and thank you all for listening. Have a nice weekend.
Ay, sir, meron pong isang question. Mayroon po bang mga public doctors for mental awareness na nag-o-offer ng free consultation?
Public doctors, I think so. Baka meron tayo sa PGH. Meron din tayo sa mga ibang mga, usually sa PGH, sir. Meron yan. May nag-talk na sa amin minsan about mental health, and it's very good, no? Psychiatrist siya. And naging speaker namin sa PGCA, I think 3 or 4 years ago. Uh, Bibigay naman sila ng ano. But I'm not sure with consultation na. Medyo mahal kasi ang pagka-psychiatrist na eh.
Mm. That's true.
And actually yun yung wino-workout nga namin dito sa ano na to, sa matagal naming nilalabi to na nasa PGCA pa ako noon. Mag-ano naman, parang magbigay naman ng konting leeway itong mga psychiatrists natin. Well, you cannot blame them kasi napakahirap naman talaga ng kanilang work at saka yung pinagdaanan. And besides, they're very few. So, ika nga, no, sa law of supply and demand, mas konti at mas kailangan mo yung services nila, mas ano sila, mas pricey. So, pero may mga mabait din naman, I believe meron din ng ano dyan, consultation. Pero ang pinaka mahirap kasi sir, lalo na sa ano, sa consultation, yung initial, kasi yun yung madugo eh. Assessment kasi yan, so hindi lang basta ano yan, consultation. They're trying to assess the person. They're giving batteries of tests para malaman nila kung ano talaga yung condition niya. And unlike sa ibang parts ng body natin, no, like halimbawa kung sa lung, sa heart, stethoscope lang katapat niyan, maririnig ng doctor kung ano yung problema. Pag ortho naman, makita lang sa x-ray ano yung bali mo, kita na. Pero pag emotions na pag-uusapan, tsaka state of mind, psychological well-being, it's invisible to the eye. Kailangan talaga you go deep into it. You give this batteries of tests just to confirm kung severe anxiety ba yan, depression ba yan, psychosis na ba yan, neurosis ba yan, or ADHD ba yan. Diba? So, maraming test na kailangang ibigay for that to surface at ma-determine nila kung ano ba talaga yung mental condition ng patient.
Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
thank you, Sir Carlos Aguilar, for that question. Meron pa po ba? And also, sir, I have also a question. Kasi
Yes,
di ba,
ma'am.
sir, sa ibang bansa kasi, they have this, commercial advertisement na parang if you're having, trouble nga or
Mm.
psychological trouble, you can, parang meron silang hotline. Sa atin po dito
Hotline
sa Pilipinas, meron po ba tayong parang Philippine hotline na pwedeng
for mental health.
tawagan?
Meron,
Opo.
ma'am. Na
Meron,
hindi ko
sir.
lang dala, pero don't worry, isasend ko sa inyo yung ano.
Okay
May
po.
mga
Thank you, sir.
hotline numbers tayo, lalo
Ayan.
kapag may mga counseling lang yan.
Opo, yes, ma'am.
Tawag dito, kasi yung mga pregnancy, ganyan, o hindi na malaman. Usually ganun eh. Para maiwasan natin yung mga nagpapalaglag, o kaya na biglang sila, hindi lang gusto na magbuntis sila. Usually mga ganong hotline numbers. O kaya, like nito pandemic, marami naglabasan, mga
Yes, sir.
free consultation din o hotline online na minsan chat. Sa amin, ako, yung mga empleyado namin, pagka they want to talk to somebody, yun nga, minsan, lalo na natin, nauso yung mga quarantine na na napapalis sa family nila. Inabot ako minsan hanggang 2:00 madaling araw, chatting and calling them para makumusta lang. Tawag namin ikumustahan. Kasi
Yes, sir.
talagang mahirap. Hirap talaga yung
Mm.
situation nila.
Yes, sir. Okay, so ano pa bang question? This is an opportunity. So, let's take this opportunity to ask questions. Kasi ito yung minsan, sir, na medyo, medyo sensitive kasi na for
Mm.
others to open up. Yung mental,
Mm.
health, diba? Kasi natatakot yung
Yeah.
iba na baka maano sila na may problem na sila psychologically. Yan. So, sabi po ni Sir Carlos Aguilar, thank you daw po, Sir
Okay, you're
Leo.
welcome po. You're
Thank
welcome
you.
po.
At meron din pong ang na-i-post dito sa screen na hotline ng National Center
Ayan,
for
yan.
Mental
National
Health
Center for Mental
Crisis.
Health.
Yan po. So, ayan po, paki-take down notes na lang po. Ayan, baka po kailanganin. Ayan. So, any questions pa po or any insights? Ayan. So, again, Sir Rio, salamat po. And I
Okay.
really love the Rocky Balboa. I've watched that many times as well. Yan, sa
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone. Tama naman talaga si Sir na it doesn't matter how many times you get hit eh. Ang ano doon is paano ka ulit babangon, right? So,
Yeah.
after you were hit several times. And nobody says naman that, challenges in life are going to be easy. Yan. So, sabi
Mm,
nga ni Sir, resiliency must come from within us. Ayan. So,
must start
let
from.
us, yes, sir. Ayan. Thank you po ulit, sir. So,
Okay, welcome.
can we proceed to our awarding of certificate to Sir Rio? Wala na pong question. Marami pong salamat. Alright, so Republic of the Philippines Department of Education, National Capital Region, Schools Division Office of Las Piñas City. Las Piñas North National High School, Aurora Drive, Bergonville Subdivision, Pulanlupa dos, Las Piñas City. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Rio B. Ordiliano for imparting his valuable insights and inspirations to students, guardians, parents, teachers, and community members during the Project Hammond Health and Mental Awareness Orientation for Northians, an activity under Brigada Escuela 2022. Given this 12th day of August 2022 at the Las Piñas North National High School, Las Piñas City, Philippines. Signed by our Principal 3, Sir Carlos Alexander S. Rigon. Thank you, sir.
Wow, thank you
Ayan.
very much po, Sir Carlos. And
Thank you, sir.
enjoy po kayo dyan sa Oasis.
Yes.
Have a happy event dyan. And please take care always po. And
Okay,
to
thank
the
you,
rest of
sir.
the teachers as well, ingat but enjoy.
Yes. Once again, sir, a big thank you po
Thank you
sa
rin.
inyo for your wisdom in this timely topic for our program. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. My
Ayun.
pleasure po.
Okay po. So, remind ko lang po ang ating Kwame, ang yung link ni Sir for evaluation. So, ipopost po yan sa ating comment section. And ang ating pong Kwame right after the program, do not forget to answer them. Alright? So, to formally end our program for today, let us all listen first to the message of our Las Piñas North Head Teacher 3 of Filipino Department, Ma'am Armeline Barrera.
Sa ngalan ng ating punong guro, Mr. Carlos Alexander S. Rigon, mga puno ng kagawaran, teaching and non-teaching personnel, lubos po kaming nagpapasalamat sa ating mga mag-aaral, mga magulang at guardian na mula sa simula ay sumubaybay sa ating programa. Ang Project Hamon ay isang proyekto na naglalayong ihanda ang bawat isa sa darating na on-site na pasukan. At ang inyong presensya sa araw na ito ay sumisimbolo na tayo po ay mayroong nagkakaisang layunin, nagkakaisang damdamin, ang maging handa. Hindi lamang ang ating pisikal na katawan, kundi maging ang ating mga isipan na nababagabag, na nalilito, na nagkakaroon ng iba't ibang agam-agam dahil natatakot pa tayo sa epekto ng pandemya at sa mga posibleng mangyari. Kaya, makakaasa po kayo na ang ating layunin ay hindi dito matutundukan. Ito ay simula pa lamang ng mga kaparaanan ng paaralan upang tuklasin, ihanda at suportahan ang ating mga mag-aaral, maging ang ating mga magulang tungo sa pagsulong ng edukalidad para sa bata, para sa bayan. Muli, maraming salamat po. Nawa ay hindi po kayo magsawang sumuporta sa amin sapagkat ang aming pong layunin ay para sa ating mga mag-aaral. Isang mapagpalang araw po sa bawat isa.
Thank you, Ma'am Armeline Barrera. So, as we end this program, let me share this one for you. So, one of the guarantees of life is that each one of us, whether in a teacher ka, or you're a parent, or guardian, or a student, we will definitely encounter challenges, difficulties, or tough times. So, that is something that we cannot avoid. In this one of the hardest time in the history of education, resilience, sabi nga ni Sir Rio, resilience must come from within us. That can be strengthened over time with the proper techniques. So there are techniques that Sir Rio have given us, so we can use that. So we can practice our mental resiliency. So dun na papasok ang innovation natin, learning new things, and accept the challenges and changes. On behalf of Las Piñas North National High School and Brigada Escuela School Coordinator, Sir Patrick M. Melendez, I sincerely want to thank all of you for being part of today's program. We are hoping that you have learned so much from our speaker and you have to keep it and use them as you all prepare for our school year ahead. Once again, thank you very much. This has been your MC, Israeli Aranda, saying good day and God bless us all.